Now Goldbag waits behind the gate, moments from a start. They're at the post. All standing well as we wait for the start. Secretariat throws his head a bit. And they're off for the lead. On the inside, that's Angle Light for the lead. On the outside, Shecky Green, Royal and Regal. Then on the rail, it's Restless Jet, followed by Our Native. Up on the outside is Gold Bag. They're by the stands for the first time. Shecky Green is showing the way by a length and a half. Royal and Regal now being moved to the inside, looking for room. Gold Bag is up on the outside. Then on the rail, it's Angle Light, followed by Sham, Our Native, Restless Jet. It's My Gallant, then Forgo. On the outside, Navajo, followed by Secretariat, Warbucks, and finally, Twice a Prince. They're moving on the turn. The leader is Shecky Green, leading by 2.5 lengths. Goldbag is second by a head. Sham now third on the outside by 2 lengths. Royal and Regal fourth. 2 lengths then back to Angle Light in fifth. The Secretariat has made a sudden move and is now sixth. Then it's Restless Jet, Our Native beginning to move up. Navajo, Forgo, and Warbucks beginning to move up, followed by My Gallant and Twice a Prince. They're into the turn and bunching for the lead with Shecky Green, still the leader by a half a length. On the outside and challenging is Sham, and he's now got a head in front. Now Shecky Green responds to the challenge, and those two are heads apart. Royal and Regal is third and holding on. Goldbag drops back. Secretariat is fourth and moving up on the outside and is now third and moving at the leaders as they come for the head of the stretch. They're at the head of the stretch, and Sham is the leader. He leads it by a length. Secretariat is in the center of the racetrack and driving. Shecky Green now drops back. Coming on a bit is Forgo, Our Native on the outside. Now and they're in the stretch. It's Secretariat. Secretariat on the outside to take the lead. Sham holding in second. It's Secretariat moving away. He has it by 2.5. Sham, then on the outside, Our Native. At the wire, it's going to be Secretariat. He wins it by 2 lengths. Sham is second. Our Native third by a neck. Forgo is fourth. Restless Jet is fifth. And it looked like Navajo might have gotten up for sixth. We'll have that for you in just a moment. Right now, let's take a look as they go around the turn. The big horse, the $6 million syndication, Secretariat, responding to what they asked today. Was he the real horse or was he not? And you saw it. He handled Sham very effectively in the stretch, went away to win this race, and he won it with authority. And incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, this was a nice, fast racetrack today, but don't let that take anything away from it. Secretariat just broke the old Kentucky Derby record. 1:59 2/5, and that breaks Northern Dancer's great record by a full 3/5 of a second. Now here's the stretch run. Sham had the lead, and Secretariat. Ron Turcotte uses the right-handed whip twice. You see it there. And now Secretariat comes on to take the lead away. Pinkai is also in a strong drive, but he can't handle him today. Today it was Secretariat's day as he just is drawing away. Watch him pull away as they near the finish line. The margin better than 2 lengths at the wire. And this was a very fast Kentucky Derby, and this horse showed remarkable staying power in the stretch. The early pace was very good, and he went on to win this race with great authority. Sham outfinishing the rest of the field very easily, much the best of the rest. Let's make the margin a little better, 2 1/4 lengths at the finish line. The winning time once again, 1:59 2/5, and that's a new Derby 1 1/4 record.
Number 7 horses, Avatar, going into the 10th hole. I stood there with the shoe this morning. You saw that interview earlier. That is squarely in the middle of the track, and the shoe left the position. 8, Bombay Duck. 9 is Round Stake. And the 10 horse, Diablos. He'll be in the 13th hole. Now, with 1A going in, let's go up to Chic Anderson for the call of the race.
One more horse to load on the outside. Promise City into the starting gate. They're at the post. On the inside. Master Derby is alongside. Then on the rail, it's Honey Mark up on the outside. Here's Bombay Duck going for the lead. Bombay Duck on the outside takes the lead a length. Rushing Man in second. Then it's Fashion Sale third. Avatar close fourth. Sylvan Place is now fifth. Then further back it's Brown Stake and Honey Mark. Diablo on the outside, followed by Master Derby. Then it's Gat, Foolish Pleasure. Along the inside, Media. On the outside, Bold Chapeau, then Promise City. And finally, Prince Thou Art. They're moving to the backstretch. The leader, Bombay Duck, moves away 2.5. Avatar second and neck. Rushing Man is third by a length and a half. Fashion Sale holds fourth. Then Sylvan Place fifth. Diablo sixth on the outside. Foolish Pleasure has moved to seventh. Round Stake is eighth. Honey Mark is ninth. And Media is 10th. Into the turn again. The leader still Bombay Duck, leading at a length and a half. Avatar into second by a half a length, looking for room on the rail. Rushing Man gets through. Diablo has moved with a rush on the outside, and those four are right together into the turn. On the turn, it's Avatar and Diablo. They hooked up again. Diablo on the outside, ahead in front. Avatar on the rail has it 4 lengths. Then further back, Sylvan Place has moved to third. Master Derby is now fourth. On the rail, Foolish Pleasure is sixth as they come forward ahead of the stretch. At the head of the stretch, Avatar on the inside ahead. On the outside, Diablo. Then driving into third, Prince Thou Art, with Master Derby coming on. Nearing the finish. On the inside, Avatar, it's Diablo. Prince Thou Art is coming with a drive, then Master Derby. Nearing the finish, close quarters, Avatar, Prince Thou Art. Prince Thou Art on the outside has the lead ahead. It's Prince Thou Art holding the lead on the inside, Avatar. At the wire, Prince Thou, now Foolish Pleasure. Foolish Pleasure to the lead, Avatar. Then it's Diablo in third. Further back, Master Derby is fourth. Media got fifth. And Prince Thou Art was sixth. And we had quite a turn over there. On the turn, the horses were very badly bunched. And getting through was Foolish Pleasure on the inside, and he won. You'll have the official for you. That's the way it looked here.
All right, Chris. Well, Foolish Pleasure, the favorite, has won the 101st running of the Kentucky Derby. He went off at odds of 9-5. The time of the race, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Not all that fast. Second place to Avatar, owned by Arthur H. Felixson Jr. of San Antonio, Texas. Third place to the other West Coast horse, Diablo, winner of the California Derby. But the winner, Foolish Pleasure, beaten only once in his lifetime, is the unofficial winner of the 1975 Kentucky Derby. There was a lot of action in the stretch, particularly when they first started down there. Howard and John, what did you think?
Well, we're going to see some of that action again. You're right, the time was not exceptional. The track record, of course, and let's look at it again, John Martz, was 1:59 3/5.
Excuse me, Howard, there is an inquiry. There is an inquiry.
We might have expected it with the first Derby that AB Sports has covered. Remember, no horse ever disqualified on claim of foul. And this is... Avatar is involved in this, and
also Diablo.
And Diablo.
Shoemaker's horse came out a little bit right there. So I imagine that's where the inquiry is.
Now, for some, this will be at least a mild reminder of the 1959 Derby. Sword Dancer and Tommy Lee. The shoe aboard Tommy Lee, Bill Bolin. Yes. The inquiry, however, should not affect Foolish Pleasure.
At this point, Foolish Pleasure had the racetrack to himself, and he went on by him at that point. Whether that made any difference in the finish or not, I don't know, but there was quite a bump there.
Well, let me tell you, we'll have to find out about that inquiry. I must say this. Willie the Shoe himself, finishing second now unofficially to Foolish Pleasure, expressed earlier in that interview that he wasn't impressed with Foolish Pleasure in the wood. I was, because the horse had run from the untenable 50 outside hole in the wood. Now the horses won 11 out of 12. Yes, the 7 and the 10 horses are involved in the inquiry, and it's hard to see how Foolish Pleasure can be affected. In fact, it does not. Remember, we have 15 horses in all, an auxiliary gate, and that will be Nostalgia's post position from the auxiliary gate, post position 15. The 9 horse, Stevie's Friend, going in, and as the rest of the horses go in, let's go up to Chic Anderson for the call of the Kentucky Derby. Chic.
Giboulet into the starting gate now. He's moving in right on the outside of the main gate. And he'll be followed in by Papalotti, and then only Nostalgia will still be out of the gate, and he's in that outside auxiliary gate. He's actually in post 15, and he's now moving in behind the gate. We're about ready. They're at the post. And they're off. Seattle Slew broke slowly. Breaking on the lead, it's Bob's Dusty on the inside. For the moment, showing speed on the outside, gets the lead. It's For the Moment taking over by 2 lengths. Then Bob's Dusty Run, Seattle Slew has moved up along the inside and has moved into second. Coming by us, For the Moment, the leader, a half Seattle Slew now draws alongside. Bob's Dusty is in third. A gap of 2.5 lengths to Run, Dusty Run, followed by Papalotti, then Sir, Steve's Friend, Best Person, Get the Axe, Sanhedrin, Affiliate. On the outside, Gibolet. Trailers are Nostalgia, Western Wind, and on the outside, Flag Officer. They're moving to the back stretch. For the Moment is along the inside, ahead in front. Seattle Slew is second by 4 lengths. Bob's Dusty is third by 4.5 lengths. Run, Dusty Run in fourth by 1.5 lengths. Beginning to move up, Sir, Steve's Friend moves to the outside. Then also Papalotti, Best Person, Gibolet, Get the Axe, and Affiliate. They're moving into the turn, and it's 2 in front or For the Moment by 1/2 length, with Seattle Slew drawing alongside again. Bob's Dusty is 3 lengths back in third, and now Steve's Friend is making up ground quickly. He's fourth on the outside. Run, Dusty Run is attempting to get through along the rail and is also moving up. Then it's 6 lengths back to the next horse, Sir. Head of the stretch. For the Moment, Seattle Slew still battling it out together. And here's Run, Dusty Run now closing ground and moving into third. It's Seattle Slew, however, that takes it over at the head of the stretch. Seattle Slew moving away. Now opens 2.5. Run, Dusty Run driving up on the outside into second. Steve's Friend. Here's Sanhedrin now closing also along the inside. Coming to the wire. Seattle Slew opens it to 4 lengths. At the finish, it's going to be Seattle Slew, and he's going along easily. He wins it by about 2 lengths. Run, Dusty Run is second, Sanhedrin in third. Then it was very tight for fourth between Steve's Friend, Get the Axe, and along the rail, Papalotti. And right now, here is Jim McKay.
Well, he's been tested now, all right. He had won 6 in a row, but they said yes, but he's never been tested. Well, he raced all the way with For the Moment. Staved off the challenge, and he's won the Kentucky Derby. Seattle Slew, yes, in fact, may be one of the great horses. He's gotten the first leg on the Triple Crown. And again, the comparisons with Secretariat will be beginning. In second place, unofficially, Run, Dusty Run from the 1 and 1A entry. And in third place, John W. Galbraith's Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin again was closing very quickly, as he did in the Wood Memorial. Here's a look at the finish again. There is Seattle Slew, having been challenged as seriously as he could be, pulling away from his field. Again, he might have slowed down just a hair coming to the finish line, and that's Run, Dusty Run in second place. And look at Sanhedrin, number 2, closing very fast. But there is the winner, no question about it. Mrs. Karen Taylor's Seattle Slew, ridden by the much criticized jockey Jean Fruguet. The team has come through, and the people who are seeing the Kentucky Derby for the first time saw their horse win. 2:02 is the time, and 1/5.
Just a fantastic day. We've said it so many times, but don't you think, Howard, I said earlier that this is our 4th Derby for ABC here, and the others were great, but this has that extra special tension.
Well, that's been stated by the press consistently, and they've been right about that. From the very beginning, the development of the 4 horses, not just the 2, but the 4. The uncertainty as to Sensitive Prince's ability to face horses of this caliber. The great performance of Believe It in the Wood, and of course, Aladarn affirmed with the documented record. So we're about ready, Jim.
Yes, into the number 1 hole went 57-year-old Bobby Baird on Raymond Earl, and next to him, right next to him, is Stevie Cawthon at age 18. Number 3 horse going in, Aesop's Foibles. Jerry Frankel owns him. Number 4 there is Special Honor, the longest shot in the field. Somebody said in the Bluegrass Stakes they had to send out a search party for him to bring him home. Number 5 is Hoist the Silver. Richard DePass is the jockey there. Number 6, Chief of Dixieland. Number 7, Darby Creek Road. Then we have Dr. Valeri. And then all the way on the outside, 3 of the favorites, Believe It, Alidar, and Sensitive Prince. Calling the race for us, the track announcer at Santa Anita and at the Meadowlands, one of the best in the business, Dave Johnson. All right, Dave.
Aladar, the favorite, moves into line, and the last horse, Sensitive Prince, is also behind the gate. Aladar at 6-5, the favorite in this big crowd this afternoon. The last horse, Sensitive Prince, being taken by one of the assistant starters moving in, but Aladar seems to be acting up just a bit in post position number 10. Aladar is acting up for this 104th Run for the Roses. One of the other assistant starters moves in again, and now Sensitive Prince gets into line. They're all ready, and they're on. And on the inside, there goes Raymond Earl, and Affirmed is right there and challenging between horses. Out in the middle of the track, that's Aesop's Foibles into the third spot. Sensitive Prince in the middle of the racetrack moves up as they passes for the first time. It's Raymond Earl now showing the way by a length and 3/4. Affirmed is second from between horses, and there goes Sensitive Prince inching up on the outside. A gap of 2.5 lengths. It's Believe It racing fourth. Aesop's Fables is fifth. Chief of Dixieland tucked in on the inside is sixth at this point by 2 lengths. Then Darby Creek Road, followed on the inside by Hoist the Silver. Aladar on the extreme outside is next. Then Special Honor Racing 10th, and Dr. Valeria is 11th as they move on to the backstretch. And on the outside, there goes Sensitive Prince taking command as Raymond Earl drops back second by 4, and Affirmed is third at this point. The first quarter in 22 3/5 seconds, and the half in 45 3. And down the backstretch, Sensitive Prince now enjoys a 2.5 length advantage. Raymond Earl is second by 3. Affirmed is third by a length and 1/4. Along the inside, Aesop's Foibles is racing fourth. On the outside, that's Believe It, now fifth. Gap of 2.5 lengths, and Chief of Dixieland is sixth. Darby Creek Road is seventh. Aladar now on the outside gains ground in 8th position as they round the far turn. 3/8 of a mile to go in this Kentucky Derby. It's Sensitive Prince, and up on the outside, there goes Affirmed with a rush. Affirmed takes command by a head. Sensitive Prince is second, and Believe It moves quickly to the leaders as the field turns for home. Coming to the quarter pole, Affirmed on the inside, Believe It on the outside, Believe It on the outside, Affirmed toward the rail, and down the stretch they come. Affirmed on the inside, takes command again. Believe It is second, Aladar gains ground third. They're in the final furlong. It's Affirmed with Stevie Cawthon showing the way by 2.5. Believe It with Ed Maple is next, and on the outside, Aladar is third, but it's going to be Affirmed. Affirmed with Steve Cawthon is going to win this 104th running of the Kentucky Derby. Aladar is second, Believe It third. Gap of 4 lengths, followed by Darby Creek Road, Aesop's Fable, and the rest. Well, it was Affirmed stalking the early pace and quickly moving to command and never letting it go. Final time, 2 minutes, 1 1/5 seconds. Affirmed wins the Kentucky Derby. Back to the winner's circle, Jim McKay.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. The winner again, and it's unofficial still, is Affirmed. The beautiful 3-year-old from the Harbor View farm of Louis E. Wolfson, whose wife is the daughter of Hirsch Jacobs, one of the great trainers of the American turf, who, however, never won the Derby, and now his daughter's horse has done it. Trained by Las Barrera, who 2 years ago sent Bold Forbes out to upset Honest Pleasure. Steve Cawthon, the winning jockey in his very first Kentucky Derby at the age of 18, and of course he was born and raised in a little town called Walton, Kentucky, not too far from Louisville. The race developed very much as everybody thought it would. I think, as you saw, Aladar was coming and coming so fast at the wire. Affirmed could have been tiring just a little bit, but he made it. Third place unofficially, Believe It.
Okay, squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just about ready to go into the gate as the crowd begins to build. We have a microphone on the starter, Tom Wagoner. Want to hear some of those sounds. Number 2 moving in, Mocambo, third favorite in the race. Ridden by Jacinto Vasquez.
All right,
That is Leroy Jolly's horse. The assistant trainers, underrated people. That's a dangerous job. Number 12 going in now. Remember, the post positions are different than the numbers. That's why it's timed. Here comes Bold Arrangement, the English horse, with a mind of his own. Number 13, Icy Groom, Eddie Mapleout. He's never won the Derby. Number 14, Southern Appeal. He would be the longest shot in the race, remember. Jesse Davidson aboard. Another Maryland bred. Number 4, Vernon Castle, California Derby winner. Broadbrush. Badgerland, second favorite. Wheatley Hall. There's a long shot that could win. He's the one, I think. Snow Chief now. Here's the favorite. And Bachelor Beau. Long shot, won the Bluegrass. Front runner. Lots of speed on the outside, remember. They'll have to break fast to go for that clubhouse turn. That's Groovy, another speed horse. You'll really see them moving. Here's Zabaleta, yet another speed horse. Now, up top, waiting to call the race for us is Mike Battaglia. Mike?
Thank you, Jim. They're almost in. They're at the post. And they're off. Breaking for the lead from the outside, Bachelor Beau and Groovy. Also from the outside, Zabaleta, Snow Chief between horses. Then Vernon Castle. Down the stretch for the first time, Groovy has the lead by a length. Zabaleta is second. Bachelor Beau third, a length to Snow Chief fourth. Gap of 4, Vernon Castle fifth by a head. Southern Appeal 6.5 length. Broadbrush is 7. Between horses, Wheatley Hall runs 8. Up from the outside, Badgerland is 9th. Moving on to the back stretch, it's Groovy by a length. Zabaleta second, length and a half. Bachelor Beau third ahead, Snow Chief fourth, gap of 5. Southern Appeal now runs 5th. Length of Broadbrush in 6th, Wheatley Hall 7th by a head, Vernon Castle 8th. 3 lengths to Badgerland running 9th. Down along the inside, Rampage 10th. Bold Arrangement is 11th. Also up from the inside, that's Wise Times. They're moving for the turn. Groovy on the inside has a head in front. Zabaleta second, a length. Snow Chief is gaining ground. Those 3 are right together. Bachelor Beau fourth. Into the turn, Zabaleta head in front. Snow Chief second. Gap of 2. From the inside, Wheatley Hall third ahead. Broadbrush fourth ahead. Badgerland on the extreme outside. They're moving for the stretch. Snow Chief, Broadbrush on the outside. Badgerland, all 3 horses together. Also gaining ground, that's Bold Arrangement. They're into the stretch. It's Badgerland on the outside. On the inside, Bold Arrangement. Here comes Ferdinand on the rail. In the final furlong, it's Ferdinand getting the lead. On the outside, Bold Arrangement and Broadbrush. Nearing the wire, it's Ferdinand in front. On the outside, Bold Arrangement. Under the wire, Ferdinand under Bill Shoemaker wins the Derby by 2. Broadbrush finishes second, a photo for third. And Ferdinand under Bill Shoemaker, the master, wins the Kentucky Derby. Running time 2:02 and 4/5. Back to you, Jim McKay.
And there is Charlie Whittingham wearing the tweed hat. He's finally done it at the age of 73. He's won the Kentucky Derby. Ferdinand, the unofficial winner of the Kentucky Derby. The unofficial second, Bold Arrangement, the English horse. And the unofficial third, as I saw it, was Broadbrush from Maryland. A photo for third, however. And everything still unofficial. What a horse race it was. 2:02 and 4/5, well off the track and race record of the great Secretariat, 159 and 2/5. Bill Hartack, this was a cavalry charge coming down right about here.
Yes, it sure was. It looked like Snow Chief had a lot left turning for home, but then here came the stampede. I'll tell you one thing, that horse Badgerland ran a terrific race. He was completely wiped out leaving the gate, and of course Ferdinand going around this turn by me was absolutely last. Had a good trip in the race. Broadbrush ran gamely, and the Invader from England also ran a heck of a race, but Ferdinand was just too good for him.
He certainly was today, and by the way, the dosage index has held up once again. Not since 1927 has a horse with a dosage index of more than 4 won this race. Snow Chief, the favorite, had an index of 5.0. So there was the finish, and here is Snow Chief being ridden back by jockey Alex Solis.
Field in the post positions, and now back down to Jim McKay.
Kind of an interesting sidelight, Al, that the pony rider for the favorite for Demons Be Gone, had not planned to be here. Her name is Mary Ann Wilson. She was the pony rider out in Arkansas for his 3 great victories. But when Pat Day, the jockey, heard that she wasn't planning to come for various personal reasons, he said, Mary Ann, you got to be there. You're the good luck person, and you fit this horse, and you settle us down before the race. So Mary Ann Wilson is on the track at the Kentucky Derby, a story on every horse. No secret down here in Kentucky, for example, that Tom Gentry, the owner of War, has had tremendous problems the last year and a half, a difficult divorce, financial problems, and suddenly up pops with a horse that wins the Bluegrass on a disqualification and is in the Kentucky Derby. And Capote, we said, trying to prove himself. And Wayne Lucas, my goodness, he's made a crusade out of this, Charlesy, but he hasn't done it yet.
He's had 9 tries, 9 different horses in a number of different years, 3 entries here today. Certainly the Derby is the one thing he said, it's the one plum. He's had everything else in racing. He breaks his own records every year, but this is the one he wants.
Okay, it's almost time now for sure. So on this beautiful, hot, summery day at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, let's go back up on top to Dave Johnson for the call of the race. Dave, have a good one.
What a beautiful day. What a great sight as 17 3-year-olds come to the starting gate for the Churchill Downs premier attraction, the Kentucky Derby. The starter is Tom Wagoner. He'll be sending them on their way in the run for the Roses for the 14th time.
On the inside. I want 2 or 3 people on the inside of him now.
When my friends come to the track, I always tell them 1 race go to the paddock, see that ceremony, and 1 race get as close as you can to the starting gate to watch and listen to the horses as they load. And let's do that right now for the Kentucky Derby.
Work on the inside of it. Move his front feet a little bit, Ron, and don't mess with him. All right, that's good. Leave him sit.
They're all 3-year-olds. They all carry 126 pounds.
Gary, you stay in there? Gary, please you lead up.
That's Pin Kai. On the line, giving him a bit of trouble. There's the favorite, Demons Be Gone, with Pat Day, who's already won 3 races on the card.
Let him sit there for it. It'll be all right there.
This is a long time for Crypto Clearance, the #1 horse in post position order, to be standing there. But he is a now horse and a now rider. Jose Santos rides him. Bet twice. 14 are in. Now to the auxiliary gate. They're all in line. Demons Be Gone, away quickly from between horses. Now there goes Leo Castelli on the inside, though Capote grabs the early lead past the stands for the first time. From between horses on the line, charging up to get command. Capote along the inside is second, and on the outside, that's Candy's Gold Racing third. In the middle of the track, No More Flowers up fourth. Bet Twice is fifth. Masterful Advocate from between horses sixth. There goes Leo Castelli bullying his way between horses seventh. Masterful Advocate, in fact, almost went out. War is in trouble on the inside around the first turn. Capote leads it by a length. Stablemate on the line into second position by 2. Candy's Gold on the outside, third by a head. Along the inside, that's Leo Castelli with Jacinto Vasquez in the irons in fourth position. War regaining on the inside now fifth. Bet Twice is sixth. Masterful Advocate is seventh. No More Flowers on the outside is racing eighth. Templar Hill moving through along the inside ninth. Chocolate 1 is 10th. No More Flowers back to 11th. After that, it's Ali Sheba, Momentous, Crypto Clearance. Between horses, Gulch is far back. On the outside, Conquista Rose is 16th, and the favorite, Demons Be Gone, is 17th and last. He's pulling up around the far turn. On the inside, it's on the line, but on the outside, there goes Bet Twice to the front, way ahead with Craig Perret aboard. On the inside, that's on the line with Gary Stevens hanging tough as they turn for home, a quarter of a mile to go. Bet Twice taking the lead by 1. On the outside, here comes Ali Sheba. On the line, dropping out of it. Middle of the racetrack, crypto clearance with Jose Santos is flying. Leo Castelli between horses. And down the stretch they come. Bet Twice on the inside, leads it by a head. On the outside, here comes Ali Sheba. Ali Sheba with Chris McCarron to the front. Bet Twice back to second. Here's the finish. Ali Sheba wins it by 3 parts of a length. On the inside, Bet Twice finishing second. Havies Coffey with Mickey Solomoni, part of the neutral field, finishing third. That's the unofficial finish. Jack Van Berg was right. Ali Sheba did get his confidence back. The mile and a quarter in 2 minutes 3 2/5 seconds. There was a lot of trouble around the first turn, and the favorite, Demons Be Gone, pulled up.
Well, it won't be Pat, it'll be Chris. Yeah.
Oh, he broke down.
Who is that? There's Demons Be Gone. Demons Be Gone being put in the track ambulance, the favorite for the Kentucky Derby. That's a sad story. Let's see what happened, if we can. Demons Be Gone, the favorite in the Derby.
This is going down the backstretch here. Here is Demons Be Gone.
Number
He was
6.
Far back early on. And as he proceeds down the backside, he evidently will take some bad steps. There he is, starting to pull himself up there.
There have,
Easing
Charlie,
back.
been those who said that those front leg bandages must mean that they know there's some weakness
That
there.
made him suspect. It did indeed, and here you see him shortening stride ever so much. It does not look to be too severe. He did walk into the ambulance of his own accord, and we hope certainly that it is not terribly serious.
Chris McCarron, can you hear me?
Thank you.
This is Jim McKay. Chris, congratulations. You couldn't be a more worthy winner.
Tell him about what you have.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know. I got it squeezed a little bit going by the stands the first time, and I got a little further back than I wanted to be, but he ate up horses down the backside real well. And thanks, Junior.
Chris, you had an unbelievable ride through the stretch. You clipped heels, actually, with Bet Twice, did you not?
Clipping heels. Let's move him, Jess. The horse in the lead, Bet Twice, stuck out right dead in front of me. And I clipped his heels, almost fell. This colt's a real competitor to get up on his feet again like that and go on and win the race.
It was a tremendously game effort by Ali Sheba. Congratulations, Chris McCarron.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay. Chris McCarron, who turned the world on its heels as a young rider in Maryland, went to California, coming off an injury, a broken leg, not very long ago either. Some people wondered if he was up to the grueling pace of a Derby.
All right, now, Jim, watch this replay. Now, there's Bet Twice. He's got the lead. Now, watch Ali Sheba. He makes a move up here. This is already, I believe, after the incident that happened. He had a very rough trip earlier in the stretch, but as Chris said, he pulls himself back together again very gamely and passes Bet Twice to give Chris McCarron and Jack Van Berg, both Hall of Famers, both their very first Kentucky Derby win.
Okay, the order of finish is still unofficial, but it is, as you see it right there. Okay, Avies Copy finishing a most surprising third. 2:03 and 2, not a particularly fast time for the Derby.
There's Jambalaya Jazz, couple in the wagering at Pyramid Peak. Jerry Bailey right there with Tahano Run. And there is Timber Country, last year's 2-year-old champion with Pat Day, moving into the first stall of the auxiliary gate. Interesting that the horse from Japan, Skeet Captain, was really never let go to gallop. The two handlers just stood aside him as he came to the gate. There's Lake George, part of the 6-horse mutual field. Just a couple more to load. Necky moves in, and Citadine.
Is that gray horse
6
out
starts,
there,
all of those in Europe. All 3-year-olds. The filly carries 5 pounds less. 126 for the males. And they're off in a Kentucky Derby. Afternoon Delights gets gets away quickly, and Serena's Song is expected on the outside. Along the inside, Wild Sin takes up the chase. Citadine in the middle of the racetrack as they passes for the first time. Serena's Song on the outside leads it. Wild Sin at the rail is second. Citadine right there, third. Talking Man in tight quarters between horses, fourth. Pyramid Peak at the rail is fifth. Thunder Gulch of close-up sixth. Afternoon Delight, 3 wide, is seventh. That's Jumron Racing a close-up eighth. At the rail, Suave Prospect saving ground in ninth. Then Lake George is 10th. Eltish is 11th. Gappa 2, Tejano Run is 12th. Dazzling Falls Race is 13th. On the outside, Timber Country is next. Then comes In Character, Mecky. Ski Captain is third last. Jambalaya Jazz is second last. And at the back of the pack, that's Nakadune, 19th and last. Down the backstretch, it's still Serena's Song. Corey Nakatani aboard. He's trying to win this one wire to wire. Wild Sin with Randy Romero on the outside. Then a wall of horses charging up, and Citadine, a long shot. Part of the mutual field is right there. Citadine takes up the chase and the challenge and moves on Serena's Song, but Corey Nakatani lets him notch out. It's still Serena's Song. Citadine, now Talking Man, is in gear. On the inside in blue and white colors. On the outside, Thunder Gulch with the white blinkers, and Gary Stevens aboard has something to say about this Derby as they turn for home. A little more than a quarter of a mile to go. Serena's Song desperate to hang on between horses. Talking Man on the inside, but Thunder Gulch emerges with the lead, and Thunder Gulch with Gary Stevens takes command. Talking Man along the inside, and now here comes Tejano Run, and in the middle of the racetrack, it's Eltish along with Jumron, and down the stretch they come in the Derby, and here's the winner. It's Thunder Gulch. Lucas wins it with the lesser of the 3 horses he trained. How about that? Thunder Gulch wins it. Timber Country was flying its photographs all around for the place and show spots. Gary Stevens, who won it with winning colors, wins it again. Michael Tabor, who was victorious in the winner's circle in Florida, now gets to go to the winner's circle at Churchill Downs on Derby Day. Bob Lewis, right there with a smile on his face.
Wonderful,
a good
wonderful
loser.
race. Fantastic.
Fantastic is right, Bob. This was one hell of a race. 19 horses, and it's Thunder Gulch who comes home the winner.
Okay, thank you, Ernie, and good luck to you. So the horses approaching the starting gate, and for the call of the 122nd Kentucky Derby, Dave Johnson.
Thanks, Al. And they are at the top of the stretch, ready to take their positions in line for the Kentucky Derby. Let's watch and listen.
Ernie. Hey, it's Ernie. Ernie.
Here comes the favorite. Unbridled Song. That's Diligence.
Make another one, dude.
Riders, there's going to be a shake on this outside horse, so don't be riding.
Stay with me, a little bit.
Mike Smith just said, stay with me. There's Zark's Magic. He's well behaved.
Watch out, guys. Give me room.
That's Smith.
You warmed up like a champ, Bob.
Jerry Bailey with
Go ahead
Grindstone.
and make another circle. Right, here he comes. Doing good. Try not to fight him too much, Daddy.
Try not to, Mikey.
Just hook it on there.
This horse is actually pretty good. Put it on his nose, okay?
The last horse moving into line. All set.
No! Jack off!
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. Built for Pleasure gets away quickly on the extreme outside. Unbridled Song moves smoothly, and from between horses, Honor and Glory as expected. Now here comes Honor and Glory up to take the early lead. Victory Speech passing the stands for the first time. Honor and Glory in front. And Matty G is expected into the second spot. Unbridled Song, the favorite on the outside, is third. Built for Pleasure, fourth. Skip Away on the outside is fifth. Semarant, sixth. Halo Sunshine, seventh. Along the inside, Victory Speech is 8th, Cavanier is 9th, Zarb's Magic is 10th, Louis Couture's on the outside 11th, Prince of Thieves 12th, Ali Rob is 13th, 2.5 back in contention 14th. Then comes Grindstone and his entry mate. Editor's note, Diligence is next, Corker, and last in the field of 19, Blowout. Down the backstretch, Honor and Glory continuing to show the way by half a length. Matty G second, an Unbridled Song is right there. And Mike Smith on the outside asks him, and he puts a head in front. Unbridled Song easily takes command from Honor and Glory. Unbridled Song to the front. The half in 46 3/4 in 1:10 racehorse time. Midway on the turn, Unbridled Song drawing clear by 2. Halo Sunshine second. Cavanier with McCarron on the outside is racing third. Prince of Thieves along the inside fourth at this point as they straighten away in the stretch. It's Unbridled Song to lose. He's in front. He's in front by 2. Here comes Cavanier on the inside, and down the stretch they come. Unbridled Song, Cavanier on the inside. Out the middle of the track, Grindstone is closing stoutly. It's Cavanier on the inside and Grindstone on the outside. McCarron and Bailey, here's the finish. Again, too tight to call. Was it Cavanier on the inside? Was it Bailey with Grindstone on the outside? Noses apart after 1.25 miles in the Kentucky Derby.
I might have. McCarron thinks I did.
McCarron thinks it's his.
Who's else on front of him, McCarron? Yeah, me and McCarron. They got the 3 horse. Get the 3.
Chris McCarron believes it is his race, and if it is, it will be the 3rd for Chris, as Unbridled Song made an early move as they entered the far turn and then faded at the end. And in the race to the wire, it was Cavanier taking the lead, and the question is, did Grindstone get up in the final jump to nail him? Grindstone, ridden by Jerry Bailey, it would be his 2nd Derby win.
Do we have any claim? What were the fractions, you know?
And Mike Smith yet to reach the winner's circle when it looked like he had it, but the horse who had the lead and looked good as they entered the straightaway went very wide and then didn't have it at the end. And so this crowd of 140,000, along with the jockeys themselves and all of the connections, waiting for the winner of the race, whether it was Grindstone getting up at the very end, which of course would mean the first win ever for 78-year-old William T. Young and Overbrook Farm, and would again mean that Wayne Lucas would have won yet another Triple Crown race. Mr. Young doesn't know yet. Wayne Lucas doesn't know yet. Neither does the jockey Jerry Bailey. Chris McCarron indicated at the end of the race when you saw him, and there's a little prayer being said by Mike Smith. Of course, his horse faded at the end and finishes off the board.
You guys, fire me. Right, you, Chris.
So it's Bailey and Grindstone or McCarron and Cavanier. Cavanier was the winner of the Santa Anita Derby. Cavanier would be the first gelding in decades to win it, and the first Calbred in decades to win it. Bred in the Golden State. Let's check in with Charles C. Canty.
This race set up just exactly the way everybody thought it would. A lot of early speed, fast early fractions, and Unbridled Song trying to overcome all of the adversities he's had. Makes a great effort here, running in bar shoes. It's something he simply couldn't do. And on the inside, there goes Chris McCarron and Cavanier going to the lead. But look on the left of your screen. Riding furiously, there comes Jerry Bailey on Grindstone, the Louisiana Derby winner, lightly raced against a veteran race colt on the inside. The two of them come to the wire, bang together. Who is it? Al. Oh, inside maybe. Tight call. Tight call.
I thought it was the inside horse, but after a look at the replay, maybe it is Grindstone. Everybody waiting. Hold your breath. We'll be back. And the winner by a nose of the Derby is Grindstone. Part of the entry with editor's note. Wayne Lucas wins another. Jerry Bailey aboard him, paying $13.80, $6 and $4. Cavalier losing by a nose, finishing second at $6.20 and $4.40. Prince of Thieves, another Lucas horse, $4.60. There is Wayne, the time a very quick $2:01. You know, I talked to Jerry Bailey in the jockey's room at about 1:30 this afternoon. He wasn't that optimistic. He said, my horse is going to need a perfect trip. Well, one way you get a perfect trip is with a perfect jockey. And Jerry Bailey these days is about as close to a perfect jockey as you will find, as he saved ground entering the home straightaway and then found room as he angled into the outside and got up in the last jump. And Jerry Bailey aboard Grindstone with a win for Lucas, a win for Overbrook Farm, has won the 122nd Kentucky Derby, Dave.
Well, there were two sons of Unbridled in this field. The one horse, Unbridled Song, got most of the attention, but this was the other one. And Grindstone comes through, makes it 6 Triple Crown races in a row that Wayne Lucas has come to the winner's circle. What an accomplishment, and what a ride by Jerry Bailey. Let's watch it from the start, from the starting gate as they came out for the first quarter mile. Unbridled Song on the far outside. Let's zero in on Unbridled Song way over here to the left of your screen. He came out cleanly and easily established the lead. Here is your eventual winner. The one of the Overbrook Farm horses without the blinkers. The other one with the blinkers was editor's note. Those two back there. Jerry Bailey saved ground. He was 4th from last at this point, 15th in the field of 19th. Here is Aaron Grider on the front end with Honor and Glory. There's their favorite, Unbridled Song over there. But as we pick up the action later, here is Grindstone, an ISO view of his trip from the half-mile pole home. Jerry Bailey not using the whip yet, passing horses one by one. Skip away on the outside in his wake. Zarb's Magic, Matty G, Bailey finding room on the inside. Then when he has to attack, he will swing to the outside in a dramatic move, 3/16 of a mile from home. His entry mate in the photo, Cavalier, was just there to the right of your screen. Here's the stretch drive, and here's where Bailey is shaking, rattling, and rolling home to win it in the shortest of margins, passing Unbridled Song. Now all he has to do is contend with Cavalier, Al.
Jerry Bailey getting up in the final jump, sneaked a peek, and wins it by a nose. And so Jerry Bailey, who was here in 1993 aboard Sea Hero, wins his second Derby. And let's go to Charles C. Canty.
Mike Smith has lost another Kentucky Derby. This time you were really up against it, Mike. It was asking an awful lot of Unbridled Song with the bar shoes.
It was, and I was confident, though, Mr. Charles. I went in the race with extreme confidence, hoping we could overcome things. It was just too much to overcome, you know. He was fine early in the race as long as I had a good hold of him, but as you know, with them bar shoes, it's tough to really get a good grip. And when it come time to really pick it up, well, he tend to really go to bobbling. And if I grabbed him back, then he handled it better, but then everybody runs by you, you know. I mean, so I was trying to do both, and it just didn't work today.
Had to be the bar shoes. I mean, did that affect him bearing out? I mean, was there a difference in his stride?
Well, the reason he bared out just a little bit is that's when I tried to lay him down, and he just couldn't get a hold of it. Therefore, he just kind of kept struggling out. Which probably a lot of times over here is a better part of the racetrack. He just couldn't handle it the way the other ones were.
It's like wearing a pair of boots. They begin to flounder, and it's hard to handle the track.
I mean, they've always said that. They say it's wearing like combat boots and trying to run a foot race, but hopefully we'll redeem ourselves.
All right, you did good under the circumstances. Thanks, Mike, and we'll go back to Al.
All right, Grindstone, the winner. Grindstone has been to the races just 6 times, and as William T. Young watches his horse come down the stretch with Wayne Lucas over his shoulder.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, he got it.
Well, they were confident. The Bob Baffert camp was very confident. They thought their horse had won Cavalier. But the winner of the Kentucky Derby is Grindstone.
Well, here we are on the winner's stand of the Kentucky Derby, a very popular victory on a marvelous day. The rain held off 142,000 people, and the closest finish, Tom Meeker, president of Churchill Downs, since 1959, Tommy Lee.
Well, it was a great race, and it was a great race for Kentucky with Mr. Young winning it. And I want to welcome everyone to the 122nd running of the Kentucky Derby in the bright, sunshiny Kentucky. And the other thing I'd like to do is welcome Visa as the Triple Crown sponsor. They're a great sponsor. And finally, I'd like to introduce our new governor, Governor Paul Patton, who will present the trophy to Mr. Young. We're delighted.
And we got Carl Pasquarella here, the CEO of Visa. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Jim.
Governor?
The Derby is Kentucky's day in the sun around the world every year, but today belongs to Jerry Bailey, W.T. Young, D. Wayne Lucas, and Grindstone. Congratulations, today is your day in the sun.
No question about that. There is the trophy.
Is that all right?
Well, let's see. Bill Young is closest here. Bill, it's finally happened for you. No man in American racing deserves it more, or has had worked harder or invested more to get it.
Well, you're kind to say that. I waited a long time just to greet you here.
I think this is...
Jim is an old friend, folks.
Bill, again, congratulations. His daughter, Lucy Boutin, widow of the great French trainer, Francois Boutin. Good day for you, too.
Wonderful.
And there's a man they may now call the Wayne Lucas. Wayne, congratulations. 6 Triple Crown races in a row. I don't think anybody will ever equal it, unless it's you. Congratulations.
Well, Jim, I'd just like to say I've been blessed a lot of days in racing, but I've never been prouder than to stand here next to this gentleman today at this event. I mean, it's the highlight of my racing career to win one for Bill Young and that family and the Overbrook people. They've been behind me from day one. They never wavered. They believed in our program. They bred the horse. How sweet it is. These are great, 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 great owners, and far long ago became my dear friend.
Okay, and knowing something of the relationship between you two men, I know you speak the truth there. We're going to be talking to Jerry Bailey and looking at a replay of the race when we come back. First, we're going to take a little break, try to get the mud off Jerry's nose, or maybe we'll just leave it there for good luck. We'll be right back at the Kentucky Derby.
As the horses get ready to load for the 123rd running, and that's Crypto Star, the Catalano horse, who'll be ridden by Pat Day, the winningest jockey in the history of Churchill Downs. Phantom on Tour loading into the gate, and all of the rest. Remember, Crypto Star wearing saddlecloth number 2, but drawing post position number 1. Figures to take back early. The track and stakes record set in 1973 by the immortal Secretariat. Field of 13, the smallest field for the Kentucky Derby since 1985. A quality field. And Captain Bodgett's still the favorite at 3-1. Silver Charm next at 7-2. Pulpit now 5-1. And to call the race, Dave Johnson.
It's a fast track. These are all 3-year-old thoroughbreds, all carry 126 pounds, a mile and a quarter, a long run to the first turn. There's number 9, Hello, the Irish bred, trained by Ron McAnally. Part of the entry, Jack Flash, with Greg Perret. Shammy Davis is alongside. Lucas trained deeds, not words. The crowd roars. One behind the gate. And that's Freehouse, the early speedster, who might be pushed along early, trained by Paco Gonzalez, David Flores. Up there is Shammy Davis, unseated, Willie Martinez. The horse is Shammy Davis, the jockey Willie Martinez. Jumped up in the gate. They're going to back the horse out. I know Chris McCarron's been in this kind of a situation before when a horse acts up in the gate. But it looks like Willie is getting back on board. This is one of the Nick Zito trained horses in here. Nick, of course, has won the Kentucky Derby twice. Strike the gold, go for Jim. Now Freehouse is being put in. All in line.
in the Kentucky Derby. On the far outside, Freehouse the Gray quickly going for the lead. Pulpit is right there into the second spot, and Concerto shows early speed in third at the Wood. Between horses, that Silver Charm with the yellow sleeves racing fourth. Shammy Davis, the horse who was in trouble in the gate, is fifth in the red and white colors. And on the far outside, the long shot, Crimson Classic, going to get caught wide at the first turn. Pulpit battling with Freehouse. Those two in a duel up front. Now Pulpit with Shane Sellers takes command. Freehouse on the outside is second by a length and 3/4. At the rail, Carlos Marquez has Concerto right there saving ground in third. Silver Charm with Gary Stevens fourth on the outside. Phantom on Tour is next in the orange colors with Jerry Bailey. Then on the outside, it's the long shot, Crimson Classic. Along the inside, Captain Bodgett now beginning to close a little ground. Shammy Davis, Deeds Not Words. Hello is third last. To make that fourth last. Along the inside, Crypto Star. Jack Flash is second last. And far, far back, Celtic Warrior, about 18 lengths from the front. And back on the front end, the battle continues with Pulpit on the inside and Freehouse on the outside. Flores with Freehouse on the outside and Pulpit with Shane Sellers. Shane asks for a little more speed and gets it. And here comes Gary Stevens with Silver Charm, 3 wide and gaining. Jerry Bailey looks for a little racing room with Phantom on Tour, and Captain Bodgett is flying. He's fifth in the red cap on the outside, top of the lane in the Derby. Freehouse gets the lead. Silver Charm on the outside. Pulpit at the rail back to third. And here comes the captain. And down the stretch they come. Silver Charm to the front. On the inside, Freehouse. On the outside, Captain Bodgett. It's Captain Bodgett on the outside. Silver Charm at the rail. Those two to the wire. Here's the finish. Silver Charm by a neck with Gary Stevens. Captain Bodgett on the outside, second by 5. And Freehouse was third. What an exciting Kentucky Derby. 123 years, and you don't get a better race than this. Trained by Bob Baffert, who just lost it last year by a nose. And there's Barry Irwin, who's done a terrific job with his horse, but there's the guy who goes to the winner's circle. Even though it's a photo, the unofficial winner is Silver Charm. There he is. It's Gary Stevens' third Kentucky Derby. He won with Winning Colors, and he won with Thunder Gulch. Al?
2 years in a row, a great race, a photo finish a la last year with Grindstone and Cavalier. And this time, it is Silver Charm, the horse who lost to Freehouse in each of his last 2 races. But this time, he was able to take the lead, and then he was able to hold off the hard-charging Captain Bodgett. With Chris McCarron just for a second, it appeared that the winner began to drift out down the stretch. What do you think the stewards will be looking at right now?
Well, they're always going to be looking at the replay. As soon as the horses hit the finish, the stewards always look at the replay immediately to see if there's any kind of impedance during the running of the race. And it appeared that Silver Charm may have drifted out slightly into the path of Captain Bodgett. We'll have to wait and see if Alex claims foul or if the stewards post an inquiry.
A look at the steward's stand. As Chris said, they always look at the tape, no matter whether something's visible with the naked eye or not. Silver Charm was able to take the lead. Let's take a look at Captain Bodgett coming up on his outside, and it's clear that Silver Charm comes out just a bit. Here it is again.
Yeah, he comes out just a little bit. You can see Alex steady slightly to pull Captain Bodgett away from the hip of Silver Charm so that he has clear running room. And then from this point on, these two horses just dogged it out. What a great fight.
And so Gary Stevens, who got to the winner's circle in 1988 with Winning Colors, and there is a closer look, not the official photo, but from our camera at the finish line. But it's pretty clear that Silver Charm is the winner. Stevens winning this race in 88 with Winning Colors, winning this race in 1995 with Thunder Gulch, and winning it now in 1997. Silver Charm, who was the second choice going off at odds of 7-2. And Bob Baffert, who said in several interviews, as you look at Bob and Beverly Lewis, the owners, Bob Baffert saying all they do is think about last year over and over and over. The other tremendous irony here is that Bob and Beverly Lewis, and there is Barry Irwin heading the syndicate for Captain Bodgett, knowing his horse just missed getting up. But Bob and Beverly Lewis have a lot of their horses trained by Wayne Lucas. But this was a horse they gave to Bob Baffert.
That's very nice.
Bob Baffert
Thank you, man.
makes his way into the winner's circle. Bob Baffert, who called this horse a ham sandwich because he's not a particularly high-priced horse. An $85,000 purchase, and they have just posted the results to the delight of everybody in the crowd who holds a winning ticket on number 6. Silver Charm the winner, the smiling Gary Stevens. What a week for Gary. The Hall of Fame on Wednesday and the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Silver Charm the winner of the 123rd Kentucky Derby. The replays, the interviews, the hoopla when we come back. The winner is Silver Charm, and for all of the festivities, let's go down to Jim McKay.
All right, thanks very much, Al. I'm standing here with Carl Pascarella, chairman and CEO of Visa, who's going to come up with $5 million if Silver Charm can go on and win the Triple Crown. Good to have you with us, Carl.
Thank you, Jim.
And here is Tom Meeker, the president of Churchill Downs. Another great show despite the miserable weather.
No, it's not miserable. This is great weather for Kentucky.
I know you used to be a Marine, but I'm weak, I'll tell you.
Listen.
Oh, okay, congratulations. A great day, 141,000.
Yeah, we had a great day, and I'm so delighted Lewis has won. And Bobby Baffert lost last year by a couple of inches, and he deserves to win, and he did indeed today. And to present the Lewises and Bobby with the trophy, we have our governor, Paul Patton.
Hey, Governor.
Oh, the first Saturday in May is always the greatest day of the year in Kentucky, but this first Saturday in May in 1997 will always mean a lot to Bob and Beverly Lewis. For all that you all have done for racing, let me present you with this trophy. All right. Congratulations.
Robert. Oh. Bob and Beverly. Shy as ever.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Bob and Beverly, congratulations. You all have put millions of dollars and all your hearts into this sport. Now, for an $85,000 horse, you've got the ultimate.
Oh, Jim, thank you so much. Beverly and I are so thrilled, and we are just so pleased and thrilled for Bob and the whole Baffert family and the entire Baffert team. It's been a great team effort, and we just can't express our gratitude to the Baffert organization and to all the wonderful people of Kentucky and Ohio and all of you out there that dream of this thing. Gosh, it can happen, and are we thrilled to be here, I'll tell you.
Sounds like you almost have done it before. Bob, win by a nose, lose by a nose, you know.
It was tough. When they came down the stretch, I thought, here it comes again. It can't happen again. I'll have to do the low crawl out of here. But I want to thank the Lewises for letting me buy that ham sandwich for them and taking them to the Kentucky Derby. And I want to thank Mike Pegram. Without him, I would have never been here. He got me from the Quarter Horses. Says, come try Thoroughbred. So, Mike, this is for you, my man.
Okay. Congratulations again to you, Bob. On to Pimlico, of course.
Well, it looks like it right now. Gary says he galloped out fine, so he looks good. We'll be there.
Okay, we're going to talk to Gary and take another look at this race in just a minute. We're going to take a break and come back to Churchill Downs after the 123rd running of the Kentucky Derby. Stay with us. It'll be fun.
Two Bob Baffert horses. Baffert was second here by a nose with Cavanier 2 years ago, and now he brings another Calbred in after winning the race last year with Silver Charm. The field ready to load, and for the call of the race, let's go to Dave Johnson.
There's Indian Charlie, Gary Stevens. Basic trainee. Rock and roll. Jack Nagel, the starter. Real quiet with Kent DeSormo getting ready for this 124th running of the Kentucky Derby. There's Cape Town. Jerry Bailey looking for another Derby win. Hallery Hunter is in. Chris McCarron, a two-time winner of the Run for the Roses with Artax. Cholito, the speed. Look for Old Trieste, Cholito, and Artax out front early. Here goes Victory Gallop. He'll be running late. Just one horse in the auxiliary gate.
Mike, pick up his one horse's tail, will you?
Old Trieste also expected to be out there early. And Robinwood goes into the other gate. They're all 3-year-olds. They all carry 126 pounds. Quarter-mile run to the finish line, and then once more around. And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. And Old Trieste stumbled at the start, but recovers quickly. Cholito on the inside takes the early lead, and Favorite Trick is right there, and Rock and Roll up with the early leaders. Old Trieste in the middle of the racetrack has recovered and is right up with the early leaders, passing us for the first time. It's Old Trieste on the outside, and at the rail it's Rock and Roll, and the long shot Rock and Roll with Francisco Torres has it by a head. Old Trieste challenges. Cholito is racing in third. Indian Charlie is fourth. Pat Day with Favorite Trick hugs the rail in fifth, saving some ground around that turn. Real Quiet is next. Then comes Robinwood. Then on the outside, it's Cape Town, Hanneman Highway. On the outside, that's Artax with the red and black colors. 3 lengths farther back, Basic Trainee. And then that final group of horses, Parade Ground, Hallery Hunter. Along the inside, National Lore. And at the back of the pack, it's Victory Gallop, who's 15th and last. They race down the backstretch after a half mile in 45.75, and now Old Trieste has drawn clear by 3 lengths. Rock and Roll is second. Cholito is moving up, and Indian Charlie with Gary Stevens, a bold move on the outside there. There goes Indian Charlie with the red cap, moving quickly into second position. They're on the turn. It's Old Trieste in front, and here comes Real Quiet, fastest of all with Kent DeSormo. Indian Charlie is between horses. Cape Town behind a wall of horses, and Favorite Trick at the rail is racing fifth. They're at the top of the lane in the Derby, and Real Quiet on the outside gets the lead. Indian Charlie is second, and Cape Town is racing third, but gaining. Victory Gallop from far back is fourth, and moving up, Hallery Hunter is next. Down the stretch they come. Real Quiet leads it. Victory Gallop on the outside with a last desperate move. In the final stride, Real Quiet, Kent DeSormo. Yes, Real Quiet wins it. Bob Baffert, 2 in a row. On the outside, it was Victory Gallop who came from absolutely last to finish second. Bob Baffert gets his second victory. Kent DeSormo gets his first. Elliott Walden, a big race for him, almost there with Victory Gallop. What a finish as Real Quiet, who's been racing in the shadow of Indian Charlie, comes out at his own in the sunshine at Churchill Downs and wins the run for the Roses.
Real Quiet, and they kept him real quiet this week. 12 lifetime starts, 2 wins, but Baffert said yesterday, he said, I'll tell you one thing, this horse will be first, second, or third. 9 times in the money, but only 2 wins, and there is no one more elated than Kent DeSormo, because this is a coming of age for a jockey who was so brilliant as an apprentice in Maryland. So much was expected of him. Bob Baffert now making his way to the winner's circle, but DeSormo then plateaued. Had some trouble away from the track, got his act back together, had a terrific meeting at Santa Anita this year, won the jockey title, picks up the mount on Real Quiet, and Kent DeSormo has won his first Kentucky Derby.
Gary, thank you so much. Thanks for the bird.
Finishing second was Victory Gallop with a late charge. And Indian Charlie, we believe, is third, though there is a photo finish for third. The odds 8-1. That means that Real Quiet will play in the neighborhood of $18 for the victory. But Kent DeSormo picking the dead right time to make his move after Gary Stevens had made an early move on Indian Charlie to swing him to the front. He took the lead, but DeSormo came up on the outside, and there are the unofficial results with Real Quiet winning it. Victory Gallop was second. A photo for third. We believe it was Indian Charlie, and this horse was purchased for a total of $17,000. So it's the other Baffert horse, giving Bob a second consecutive victory. And Mike Smith and Dave Johnson will join me. And Mike, let's take a look at first the move by Gary Stevens to go to the front, but then here comes DeSormo.
Here's the season he comes out. If you watch right here, this other horse has probably run about 10 to 12 times. This other horse has run 4 times, which is Indian Charlie on the inside and Real Quiet on the outside there. And it just came out there about the 8th hole. And I tell you, if you remember last year, Alex Solis lost a photo in the Kentucky Derby, and I'll be darned if it happened again. That's 2 times.
I thought about when he should get out to the front and run.
DeSormo biding his time early in the race, and that's figured. And Real Quiet, he was very happy with the post position. Baffert said it couldn't have worked any better for this horse. All we wanted was for him to save ground early, so they chose post number 3 for him, a great ground-saving post. And then DeSormo was able to work him out of trouble and cleanly around the first turn and down the backside, and then picked the optimum moment and swung him to the outside and brings him home for the victory.
Just rode a beautiful race. I tell you, I'd give $1 million to be in this spot right now.
Indian Charlie is indeed third as they've looked at the photo. Hallery Hunter winds up 4th, and Kent DeSormo, the happiest guy in the state of Kentucky, aboard Real Quiet and on his way to the winner's circle. So a $17,000 purchase. Kent DeSormo. Bob Baffert, well, he's made this trip before.
The one you expected to win with? Mama, I love you. For you. Happy anniversary. I know you're up there.
Real Quiet, bred at the Little Hill Farm here in Kentucky, sired by Quiet American. The dam really blew, and $581,000 in earnings coming into the Derby. That will be more than doubled
Did I get off or what?
when this result is official.
Walking around.
This horse finished second at the Santa Anita Derby to Indian Charlie. He was second to Artax in the San Felipe. He ran a terrible race at the Golden Gate Derby. His last win was the Hollywood Futurity as a 2-year-old last December. And this the 13th start of his career, and Kent DeSormo. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the travails that he's had, Mike, and for a guy like DeSormo, it's been the perfect year so far.
It really has. You called it earlier whenever you said he's just really excelled. He's really brought his riding up to another level. This race right here is just gonna put him over the top. I mean, this is what he needed right here.
Let's let Bobby in.